Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Skelton, and I am the pastor at Dogwood Prairie United Methodist Church, as well as Seed Chapel United Methodist Church in Oblong, Illinois. And today, I just want to share with you all a brief reflection focused around the idea of a fair. Growing up, I should clarify, a fair as in a county fair. Tractor pulls, demolition derbies, barnyard scrambles, food vendors, crafts, 4-H events, cow shows, pig shows, auctions, you name it. That's the kind of fair I'm talking about. And I just briefly want to share with you, again, a reflection that I found regarding fairs. And it really caught my attention, and it really made me think about the things we see at fairs and what they possibly mean and why we're called to see those things, or why we happen to be present in a moment when we see those things. Um, and just for starters, growing up, I went to fairs. Fairs weren't a big deal in my family. We didn't go as a family a whole lot. I remember going with my cousin. Her name is Kiera. She lived in another town, and every summer we would go. My parents would drop me off at her house, at her grandparents' house, and we would walk to the fair. We would spend all day at the Mississippi Valley Fair, and we would play games, we would see events, we would maybe see people we know, but that was our chance as cousins just to catch up and to have fun, and to be friends and to enjoy this fair life. There was a couple times the fair came to town in Kelowna, where I grew up. It wasn't a big fair. There were carnival rides. There weren't any pig shows or cow shows or any 4-H events. It was more like a carnival, to tell you the truth. But that was more geared around Memorial Day when we had a parade. So I've been exposed to fairs, didn't grow up to going to a lot of fairs, but when I did, I got to go and have fun. And, I got to spend time with a cousin, with a friend who I love and cherish and check in from time to time to this day. And so getting the chance to go to a fair in Oblong, the Crawford County Fair, every year since I've been here, since July of 2021. And believe it or not, that was the first time I volunteered at the fair. I didn't know anybody, didn't really recognize a whole lot of people. And I remember the first time I volunteered, I was taking tickets, and somebody from one of the churches took tickets from me, but didn't recognize me because I wasn't in a suit. I didn't have a dress shirt on. I didn't have a tie on. I was in jeans, a t-shirt, and a hat and sunglasses. So I was kind of in disguise, but it was interesting to note that, people get accustomed to seeing me in one way, but when I'm in the community, I may appear to be something different, just the way I dress, but I'm still the same person. So that was fascinating and interesting. But ever since 2021, all the way up to this year, actually, I've had the wonderful opportunity to volunteer and to take tickets or to sell tickets and just to see the life of the fair. And so it's grown on me. It's become a part of who I am. It's become a part of the culture that I've been immersed in. And it's really changed my life. Getting to support some of the kids and their pig shows and cow shows and see their 4-H projects, and then being taken to see the barnyard scramble where kids chase after bunnies and chickens and goats, and then seeing the demolition derby, which changes your life as cars ram into each other, the sound of metal crunching, cars being pushed into the concrete side, dust flying everywhere, parts flying everywhere to some degree, there's sparks hitting the ground. It's just a whole different atmosphere. And so again, I've grown into it. It's become a part of my ministry here. It's become a part of my life living in Oblong. And I came across this reflection that's titled God at the Fair. And I wanted to share it with you because it's something that we often don't think about when we attend a fair or when we think about a county fair. We don't expect to see God. And I'm using this reflection to base off my own experience. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope it maybe brings up some memories of you going to the fair, maybe some good memories. Thinking about a fair, I think it was my second year at the fair, second or third year, and we had a group of kids at one of my churches that wanted me to ride rides with them. And oh my gosh, I rode some rides. I rode the swings that, you just get faster and faster and you expand further and further out from the center post. I did that with the kids. I did the teacups, the bumper cars. I did not do the one where you get in a cage and it turns you up. It goes like this and then you spin around upside down. Did not do that one. I drew the line on that one. But I got to ride those rides with some of the kids from churches, and it was a joy to do that and to have a blast and partaking in that and making memories with them. So, like I said, the fair's become part of who I am, living in this culture, and I'm proud of it, and I'm glad of it, and I'm thankful for all the people that put county fairs together, from community volunteers to the board members to the community leaders and officials that host, to the officers, the first responders, to the vendors that come in, to those who run the events. It's just many pieces coming together to form a beautiful puzzle that allows people to create memories, cherished memories, lasting memories, and to have fun and to enjoy laughter and just to be in the community and with family and friends. So I'm thankful for that. And so that's enough enough chit chat for now. I want to share with you this reflection. I wrote it down, so I apologize that I won't be making eye contact with you a whole lot. But hear this reflection. So again, it's Pastor Daniel here. With the 85th Annual Crawford County Fair coming to an end, I thought, why not share a fair-themed devotional with you all? I came across the following devotional titled God at the County Fair, written by Sherry Wolfert. Her inspiration is what inspired this devotion. As I look back over the past 5 Crawford County fairs that I have been involved with, I can't help but recognize all the places God has gently touched and abruptly thumped the hearts and lives of all the kids and families who are part of the fair. Sometimes he touches with the sweet happiness of victory. Sometimes he touches with the sting of disappointment. The one thing that is certain, though, he uses those kids and animals and projects to send a very precise message, if we look for it. I have been told that in order to get a livestock project ready for the fair, the work begins many months before they tie it up or put it in a pen on the fairgrounds. I couldn't even begin to count the number of hours a 4-H member spends feeding, training, washing, and walking their animals. I've watched year after year as kids have walked into the show ring, a scared area secluded from the hustle and bustle of the fair, leading an immaculately groomed steer that weighed 5 to 10 times what they did. I've watched kids walk animals they were too short to see over, but enter the show ring with a confidence and a pride that is impressive and inspiring. I have seen kids who were too shy to talk to their own shoestrings learn to become confident and articulate because a judge was going to gently bombard them with questions that would greatly influence their standing in showmanship competition. I've watched kids carefully, and usually without much enthusiasm, prepare their perfect financial statements and records designed to develop an awareness of real-world basic economics. On many occasions, I have stood at the end of a barn to look down the center aisle and watch dozens and dozens of hot, sweaty, tired kids laughing as they work. Countless times, I have seen kids walk up to a judge and present a project. That project is a representation of time, talent, ability, and pride. In the end, it all comes down to the judgment of one set of eyes. And by witnessing all of that and so much more, I realized that those kids weren't alone. Of course, they had their family, friends, and always cheering support group. But God was with them too. God was at the county fair. The good works God has prepared are evident at the county fair. Not many of the 4-H members at the fair will go on to have a career in agriculture, but they will take the messages and lessons with them no matter what path God puts them on. God was at the fair teaching patience, trust, confidence, and compassion. He was there teaching the value and blessing of caring for another living being. He was there flooding kids with the Holy Spirit when they needed the right words or the confidence. He was there when tears fell and when handshakes were given. He was there when they needed the grace of strength and patience. He was there to teach that people don't always see justice and judgment the same way. He was there molding and forming the character of his children, showing them that the value of hard work, dedication, and responsibility doesn't always come with a blue ribbon and a champion title. But if it does, in his honor, the prize is so much greater. God was at the county fair. I hope people saw him and felt his presence. I hope you see him at this year's county fair. So, just a simple reflection, something I wanted to share with you that I found interesting but touching for me as I reflect on the years that I have spent volunteering at the county fair here in Crawford County, Illinois. And it's always a blessing to do so. I get to interact with people that don't know me. I get to see people that I haven't seen in a long time. I get to be immersed in the culture of many of my congregants. I get to see the hard work of the kids. And I get to be a part of memories that last a lifetime. So, the next time you go to a county fair, or, in general, find yourself somewhere where you don't think you will see God, simply ask yourself, where is God? Where will I? Where can I see God where I am? Thank you all for listening to this brief reflection, and I pray and hope that you see God wherever you happen to be. God bless you.